Well, that sucked. Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the New York Jets versus the Buffalo Bills Week 1 matchup. But before we get started, just wanted to mention that you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. Also, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to the podcast. New episodes are dropping on Wednesdays now, so we can talk about the game that passed, and then talk about, obviously, the upcoming week. You're also going to want to check out the Patreon, patreon.com/MattO'Leary.NY. You can subscribe and get bonus content, pregame live streams. First one was today. It was a lot of fun doing that. There's articles, podcasts, Q&As. It's going to be a lot of fun over there. So if you haven't checked it out, please make sure to check that out. Link in the description. And of course, manscaped.com. You can get yourself a nice little razor or some sort of conditioner or something nice on there. 20% off with promo code JETS20. Definitely want to check out what they have over there. I got the Lawnmower 3.0 and I love using it, so check it out. All right, so this game was absolutely brutal. I was wrong, hand up. I was wrong. Josh Allen played well. The Jets defense did not play well. Sam Darnold didn't play well. The offense as a whole didn't play well. Adam Gase was bad. And realistically, out of the gate was just rough. The Jets go 3 and out. There was a ton of pressure in Sam Darnold's face, and that'd be a common theme throughout this game. He was pressured a lot, had to go out on the run out of the pocket a lot. And in the first half especially, was really rough. Bills' first possession, they're moving the ball really well, but Josh Allen fumbles, and Marcus May was able to cause the fumble. It was a really nice play from Marcus May, who had himself a really good game. I would say he was probably the best player on the Jets today. If not him, maybe Bless Austin. There's not a ton of choices. Obviously, Jameson Crowder, we'll talk about later. But on the defensive side of the ball, I would say he was the best player. Nice play from him. Unfortunately for Allen, that's a mistake that happens too often. We're going to talk about another fumble coming up later on. But Jets catch a break early on at least. So the Jets get the ball back, and you're like, all right, capitalize on this turnover. They go 3 and out again. They would go 3 and out 3 times to start the day. It was an awful start. Again, an awful start. They could not get the ground game going. Receivers dropping passes left and right. Sam missing open guys. It was tough. It was a mix of everything. It was a mix of the play calling. It was a mix of not executing from the quarterback. It was a mix of not executing on the wide receivers positions. It was tough. It was really tough watch early on. But the Bills, would get the ball back after that, go on a nice sustained drive, and Josh Allen would end up running in his first touchdown of the day and put the Bills up 7-0. Pierre Desir really struggled in his Jets debut. He had a really bad penalty on this drive that would extend it. Josh Allen would end up throwing a touchdown pass to make it 14-0 to the running back Zach Moss. And it was just absolutely tough. Desir ended up getting benched at halftime. His first game with the New York Jets, he gets benched at the half. The cornerback situation looked really bad, except for Bless. I thought Brian Poole struggled a little bit. He got a penalty later on in the game. Outside of Bless, the cornerbacks left a lot to be desired, that's for sure. Jets don't do much. They pick up a first down finally, but not a whole lot going on. Bills would get the ball back again, march it right down the field. Pierre Desir not looking good again on this drive, and they would go up 21-0 with Josh Allen's second passing touchdown of the day. At this point, Jets get it back. They are starting to look okay. They move it a little bit, and then a disastrous strike on third down. Sam Darnold pressured, rolls out to the left. Probably could have ran for the first down. Instead, decides to throw across his body. Intercepted. That cannot happen. Now, I will preface this by saying the offensive line was really bad. The head coach was really bad. The play calling was really bad. But in his third year in the league, Sam Darnold can't make that throw. I'm a big Darnold supporter. That hasn't wavered. I still, at this point, you would have thought like it was disastrous, and people were already writing in Trevor Lawrence, which is just ridiculous, I believe. But still, at this point, yes, you could admit that you believe that he is the guy and that he played badly today. Both of those things can be true. Jets get bailed out, though, because Josh Allen fumbles for the second time today, and the Jets were able to get the ball back. On the final drive before the half, they moved it a little bit, were able to get into field goal range. Too much Dinkin and Duncan for my likes. They took a lot of shots underneath. They weren't able to move the ball really all too well, so they get a field goal, 21-3 at the half. Looking pretty rough. The Jets defense did look a little bit better in the second half. Like, they got Buffalo to go 3 and out right away. We're getting a little bit more pressure in Josh Allen. That would change slightly, obviously, as we would go on to give up some more points there. But they were able to get that 3 and out, which was big. Bills end up getting the ball back. They go on a nice sustained drive. May gets his second sack of the day. May, again, looked really good. And the Bills would settle for a short field goal opportunity, but it was missed. That's what it was ruled on the field. It was really close. They looked at the replay a bunch of times. Maybe it went in, but the Jets catch a break, so they take over, and they would have their play of the day. A 69-yard touchdown from Sam Darnold to Jamison Crowder. It was more of Crowder after the catch. It was short of the sticks on third down, and then he turned upfield and went to the house. Nice play. The Jets desperately needed that. That was probably the highlight of the day offensively for the New York Jets, but thank God they desperately needed that one for sure. I thought Quinnen Williams had a rough day. On the next drive, he would get a roughing the passer penalty. That was his second really bad penalty of the day. Unfortunately for him, that just kind of took things way downhill. And I don't think he had a good day. Most of the Jets defense did not, and Quinnen made one nice play early on, and then a couple of bad penalties, which was absolutely killer for the Jets. So many penalties in this game for the Jets. But Buffalo would miss the field goal again, so the Jets catch another break, but then Chris Herndon fumbled. I don't know if it was a fumble. I thought it looked like an incomplete pass, but nonetheless, Herndon fumbled the ball. The Jets weren't able to capitalize on that mistake. At this point, we also learned some bad news that Le'Veon Bell would not return to the game. He had a hamstring issue. He was doubtful. He did not come back, and that is definitely something to worry about because the Jets' running back room with Michael Pirine out isn't looking too hot. They had Gore and Josh Adams, who would end up getting a rushing touchdown later on, oddly enough. Go sign the GOAT, Bilal Powell, please. The Bills would then settle for a field goal to make it 24-10, and they would get another field goal on top of that to make it 27-10, and Josh Allen would go over 300 yards passing. It was the first time a Buffalo Bills quarterback went over 300 yards passing since Tyrod Taylor on Christmas Eve 2016, which has been a really long time. But he was really good today. He had over 50 yards rushing and a touchdown. I believe it was 59 yards rushing. And he had over 300 yards passing and 2 passing touchdowns. He was good. He tore apart that Jets defense. The Jets were not ready to play. That was obvious. At the end, the Jets moved the ball a little bit down the field. They were dinking and dunking their way down. Sam Darnold would end up looking pretty good in the hurry-up, I thought anyway. I hope they do that a little bit more next week. But they would settle for a rushing touchdown out of Josh Adams to make it a 27-17 game, which would be your final score today. Yes, it was only a 10-point difference, but it felt like a lot more. The Jets offense was really bad for a majority of this game. They had one really big play that took up, it was 69 yards from there. Didn't really do a whole lot after that besides in garbage time and right before the half when they settled for a field goal. Coaching staff didn't do enough. I mean, that seems to be the storyline in the Adam Gase era. They came out extremely flat. Defense wasn't good. I know that they were down. Blake Cashman got hurt. Go figure, like really early on in this game. They obviously had their best linebacker opt out. They traded away Jamal Adams. Not an excuse. Weren't good enough. You can't give up 27 points and expect to win a football game. And the offense didn't do enough. Sam Darnold ended up finishing 21 of 35 for 60%, 215 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That stat line isn't as disastrous as it seemed early on in the game. I thought he actually came on okay in the second half, but you need him to be better. No doubt about it. It would really help a lot if the offensive line played better and that the coach had a clue calling the plays, but he needs to be better next week. There's no denying that. Bell would have 6 carries for 14 yards. He got hurt. Who knows what the deal's going to be with his hamstring. Gore had 6 carries for 24 yards. Not a good day rushing the ball. Not a good day throwing the ball. Besides the 2 fumbles, Josh Allen was excellent. 312 yards, 2 touchdowns. He rushed for 59. Singletary had 30. They were okay, like trying to stop the run against the actual running backs. They could not stop Josh Allen. He was really good for them passing the ball and running it with his legs as well. They couldn't bring him down. There were times where they would get to him in the backfield and he would escape and pick up 5-10 yards, and it's just frustrating. And on top of the inept offense, the penalties and the defense couldn't stop anybody. It was really tough. Not how you want to start your season. Jets are 0-1. They have a very tough task going up against the 49ers next week. It's a home game for them. Adam Gase and Sam Darnold usually play better at home, but the defending NFC champs and that strong defensive front against this offensive line, a little nervous. Definitely a little bit nervous, but let me know what you thought of the game in the comments below. Sound off. Let me know. Get at me on social media. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time.